Yo, yo. Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome back. Here again on Wolf Bitcoin for another live analysis of Bitcoin and the general crypto market. So, we're going to get into it today. We're coming off of some spaces, still hanging out in some spaces, but look, I got a drink ready. I'm sitting in front of these charts. We're here. There's a lot of action going on in the markets today, so we're going to break that down, and we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to see if some of what we covered yesterday, or even in the last few days, has played out correctly. And if it has, we'll review that. We'll see if we're still on track. If anything has changed, we'll go over some of those details as well. But excited to be back. Excited to have you guys here. If you're joining me, make sure as you're coming in, give the stream a like, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to give that thumbs up, that like button over there. Make sure you're subbed to Wolf Bitcoin. Make sure you're following on X and on YouTube. If you want to follow me, you can find me at Bits of Wealth on X, at Bits of Wealth Crypto on YouTube. But yeah, look, there's lots to talk about. Bitcoin is moving. We've got some energy. We've got a SpaceX IPO coming up. We've got all kinds of things happening. So we're going to get into that today. Guys, this show is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing that we cover or say on this show is meant to be taken as financial advice or recommendations to buy or sell. Investing and trading is extremely risky. You're very likely to lose some money, if not all of your money. So, as always, do your own research, do your due diligence, consult with licensed financial advisors. And always just take your own trades, make your own decisions, do your own analysis, please. As always, big shout out to Public, the sponsor of this show. And you can check them out at public.com/wolf. But Public is the investing platform for those who take it seriously, whether you're short-term, mid-term, long-term investor, whether you're trading or not. You can go to Public and you can use these AI agentic tools that they have available to you to set up some strategies, some AI strategies to really help you build a portfolio for the long haul. So check them out at public.com/wolf. With that, let me pull up my trading view here. Share screen. Where are you? Here you are. Move this over. 1 second, guys. Boom. There we go. All right. So this is the current Bitcoin chart right now. As of this second, we've had a nice little pop today going into the end of the US session. So going into the end of the day here, we have had a nice little move. That means there is going to be room for a little bit of a correction. There will be room for a pullback, either in the gap between US and Asia, or even after that, right? As Asia comes online, there could be an opportunity for a pullback here. So most important thing we want to see with BTC here is we want to see that these higher lows are protected, and that this continues if the trend is to continue higher. If we see this pullback come down and take this low out, then we need to be very cautious for the potential that we're then possibly looking at a bit of a larger correction happening here for BTC within this structure, right? Within that high and currently this low. Like, this is the current range that we're trading here. High, these are the lows. This can chop in here for a bit. So we're going to watch this. Currently looking pretty good, though. Looking pretty good. Has some nice energy to the upside. If we go to that 4-hour, that multi-day, multi-session W idea that we've talked about since Sunday, Monday, is essentially playing out. This was that idea. We've talked about this just about every day this week on streams, multiple times a day, multiple streams a day, as well as on spaces. But look, we had the corrective move down. We had the sweep of this big 60K level, which was last quarter's low, previous quarter low. And it was that February move down from 98K down to 60K. So that was the bottom. We saw the big move. took that out, and since then it looks like we're putting in some kind of W or potentially a double W pattern here. We don't really know if this is going to be a bottom. We've talked about what that signal would look like, and really that signal looks like a move above about here. We really want to see a move above like 64.5 to really start to confirm that. So if we can get a close above that and a move away from this structure down here, then even if you get a pullback, we are then looking for just continuation of higher lows here. So we'd be looking for potentially something to continue to the upside. So we don't know yet. It is a bit early right now, but this is looking promising. It's looking promising. We need to just continue to observe this, watch lower time frame structure, and unless this starts heading lower and taking out some lows here, this to me looks like we're pretty much on schedule. We're pretty much on schedule. Should be seeing a pump into the weekend if this is going to play out. If this is not in play, and instead what we are seeing is that we're going to see a move lower, I do suspect there is a possibility we could still sweep above this, but it would look like a deviation instead of an actual breakout. So we will be watching these highs to see what kind of a move we get above that. Will says it's playing out just as you said. It's fun when it happens, huh? Yeah, we don't always get them perfect, dude. But if you watch a lot of my stuff, you'll see that we get close. We get close. We get close, man. And mainly it's because we don't really get stuck on one narrative. Like you just heard me now. I'm making the case for what it looks like if we go higher, but I'm also saying like if it doesn't do that, I'm happy to cover what it would look like if we reject and if we had lower, and we'll cover that idea. So I think the biggest thing about analyzing these charts is you're not looking for TA to validate your idea or your position. You're looking to get your position on the side of the TA, whatever that TA is at the moment. Like you want to fit your bias to what's happening on the chart. You don't want to try and fit the chart to what you think needs to happen. That's the biggest danger that people will encounter here, is you'll want to say, I'm bullish, therefore, how can I draw some lines on this to justify why I need to be bullish, right? Or why I need to be bearish. So we got to be careful with that. But yeah, so far, dude, this is looking pretty good. So again, looking for a move above this middle, like the neckline of the W here. We need to confirm that break above there. So we need to see this go higher. And then if it comes back down, it can come back down into this neckline. That's not a problem. And come back down after a nice move higher. And then we'll just be looking for that. We'll be looking for continuation to the upside. So we're perfectly okay. We're on schedule. This is playing out very nicely. Like this is playing out perfectly. We've been coming back, revisiting that. It's working out fine. This idea that we originally were looking for the bear scenario, at this point, this could still play out, but it would now need to happen over here, right? If this happened over here, I'm willing to concede that maybe that was it, that we were just consolidating here and we're going lower. But essentially, that's what it would look like. It would look like a failed attempt to break out here. Pushes up, maybe doesn't close the day above it. Or if it pushes up, closes the day, but doesn't close the week above this, then this could still play out to the downside. And this was what we were thinking might have happened on Monday or Tuesday, and it didn't. Instead, it came down, gave us the entry that we wanted for the long. But if this does something like this, we're happy to hedge that long position with a short on a weak move up. If it gives a weak move up, we're happy to open a short position here to hedge in case it does roll over. It'll stop us out of the long, and then we'll be in profit on a short position. So this could very well still happen. We'll leave this here as that might be the bear case on a failure of this range, right? If we're saying that this is the high of the range, this is the low of the range down here, this could be a possible fake move above. We just need to be aware of that. And the main signal up here is going to be volume and momentum. When we see this move here, let me clean this up. When we see this move that breaks above here, we're going to be paying attention to what kind of volume this break here is displaying. If this little break comes up above the range high on tiny flat volume like this, we're going to be cautious. Ideally, what we want to see is we want to see some big volume come in. We want to see a nice big push on volume to support the breaking above that resistance. If we don't see it, we'll be cautious, and likely this could be setting up if it's on low volume. So we'll watch that. But look, this was the pullback we wanted. This was the entry we talked about right here at about 60.5 to 61, and we got it, dude. We got it. We got that entry. We got that entry. So far it's looking pretty good. I like that setup. I think it looks fine. Stablecoin dominance. We've continued to talk about this all week, but we've really been hammering in the fact that there has not been any acceptance above that high, right? You got the wicks above it, but you did not get the closes. You've not been able to sustain above that. So to me, this looks like that was just a deviation above a previous high. And ultimately, this should come back down in the range. If this does this and comes back into the range, then that means that Bitcoin has to go up, right? Bitcoin has to go up if stable coins go down. So a move back to about here, we're looking at about 72K Bitcoin. If it goes up here, we're looking at closer to almost 80K Bitcoin. And if this were for some reason to come all the way down, take out these lows, then we're looking at 83, 84, 85K BTC, probably higher. So, but we just got to take it a level at a time. Level at a time. Papa Solstice, what's up, man? High time frame, you've been mostly spot on. Yeah, that is my stronger area for sure, dude. For sure. Mexico 1-0, South Africa. And SF just got a red. Dang, there you go, man. Yeah, high time frame, it's easier for me to be accurate. The low time frame is where I'm willing to take like the small losses on the scalps and the hedges. But high time frame, I've got a pretty good read on it. I've usually got a pretty good read on it. And this is also why I like having multiple exchanges. So I'm still using, Weeks, Blowfin, ZoomX as my primary, right? But I'll use multiple exchanges of these crypto exchanges. Maybe you're using Hyperliquid, maybe you're using Binance, Bybit, something like that. But if you're using a crypto exchange, these decentralized ones, right, to trade a bunch of these other coins, sometimes it helps to have multiple accounts or sub accounts. That way you have an account for your short-term stuff separate from like your swing positions or your spot bag separately, right? If you're trading, I mean, even on public, you could really do this on public, right? You could have an account set up where you're doing more of like your investment swing longer term stuff on public, right? Or maybe you want to do your trading there and use these agents. So lots of places you could do it on. Same with Coinbase, right? You might be using a Coinbase for something else. So everyone's using something different. Whatever you're using, I would say I'd encourage you to make sure that you allow yourself the opportunity to have a short-term account or a bag that you can short-term trade that is separate from your longer term holdings, so that you don't commingle stuff or accidentally what's the word that they use, fumble the bag. You don't accidentally fumble the bag because you panicked on a short-term move. But this is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. US equity still looking pretty strong there, man. That's a nice little come up, nice little reversal there, huh? DXY still flat. Volatility index is pulling back a little bit, which explains why we're seeing some upside. So maybe this pulls back for the next, like, I don't know, a few days or something like that, maybe even a few weeks, and it allows everything to run up a little bit. Looking at Ethereum, man, ETH is weak. What is going on with Ethereum? Ethereum is weak. Look at this. Bitcoin's trying to make make up some of the ground that it lost, and ETH is just flat. Ethereum is just absolutely flat. It is not putting in the work right now. So Ethereum has got a lot of work to do. Ethereum's got a ton of work to do. Let me catch up on these DMs here. Let's see here. Um, all right. All right, we're all caught up on comments and DMs. Cool. Let's look at XRP. XRP is also trying to do a similar move to Bitcoin, but it is lagging Bitcoin. So here's what I would say. If Bitcoin does confirm this move, then I suspect some of the alts would then confirm it. Because we know how this works. We know that the alts look to BTC to signal strength, especially the majors, Ethereum, XRP, Sol, these big ones, the main alts, they will look. Let's copy that. They will look to BTC to kind of signal. So, look, it's a copy paste, right? Copy paste. If, and this is what I want you guys to pay attention to, if BTC gets the break above here, right? If BTC breaks above that, while BTC is pulling back, these are likely to then, at that point, finish their move up. And then these will pull back while BTC then starts heading higher, right? There'll be an alternation between both of these, okay? So pay attention to this. If BTC gets the break up here, when BTC starts to cool off a little bit and pull back, that's likely when we see alts make their push up. And then as soon as BTC starts to kind of find its footing and go up for the next leg, then we'll see alts correct a little bit of that and kind of hang out until BTC, like they'll go up slowly, but until BTC starts to then cool off up here at a higher level, then these will start to aggressively move up. And that'll just be because of that Bitcoin dominance chart that'll, Bitcoin dominance will pump on Bitcoin pumping, and then it'll cool off while money rotates back in alts. Let's see what else here. Yeah, look, man, XRP is looking beautiful. So again, this one's kind of giving you the head start. Solana, let's go look at Solana, see if there's any hope. Hey, look, paste. Okay. Let's see if Solana is doing something similar. Yeah, there you go. There's the setup on Sol. Similar idea. You're right here at that low from Feb. Solana's is actually pretty clean because the neckline of the W is exactly on that level. So Solana needs to break above it, pull back to it, and then flip it. And then Sol should have a very clean move up here at about 83, 84. And if these alts really rip, like I think they potentially could, then I think you're going to see $100 Solana again. I think you'll see $100 Solana again. This is possibly setting up here for Sol. So this is actually a pretty interesting chart. Bitcoin confirms this move up. I think it's worth looking at some of these other alts that haven't made that move yet, just to see if they are potentially going to follow as well. Let's go to the 4 hour. Oh, so hold on, let me do this. 4 hour on Ethereum. Paste. ETH is just messy right now. ETH is not. See how the other ones kind of fit compared to this one? And this is just not. This one's not fitting as good. I'd be watching the other ones instead. I think the other ones are a cleaner setup. ETH, as much as I would love ETH to pump, it just is not looking as interested. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, let's go on to, let's see if Litecoin has a setup. Because Litecoin does like to move pretty quickly when it does have a setup. It does pump. Yeah, Litecoins is not as pretty, but it's there. Litecoins is not as pretty, but it is there. This one would have a little bit more work to do. It's still not quite looking good yet. It's there. It's there. You still have a low. You have a swing. You have a higher low currently. This would need to break above that, and then you need to see the pullback. But the problem is this W is so far below this here that even if this pushed all the way up there, a pullback to the neckline still puts you below that level. You're either going to have a very shallow pullback that doesn't come down to the W neckline, or it's going to come here and then it's going to just chop around here, and it's not going to be as bullish. It's just not looking as good, unfortunately. Just not looking as good. I don't even think these monthly levels are valid anymore, so we'll get rid of those. Solana looks good, though. Solana looks really good. XRP looks really good. I like both of those. Cardano. Let's go look at Cardano. Nah, I don't like Cardano. I do not like ADA. Nah. I mean, the other way to look at it is it could have a huge pump up here to 22, 23. What kind of move would that be? 30, 40%, and then just roll over there and still go lower. But yeah, this isn't looking that great. Let's look at SWI. Yeah, I don't like it as much. It has potential, but I just don't like it as much. This area up here for SWI, like 90 cents is pretty interesting. But right now, not currently seeing it. Hype is looking pretty good, though. Hype is looking pretty good. I like the pullback we've had. Again, we talked about looking for a move below 55. That move below 55 did, in fact, play out. That is there. And so far, it looks like it wants to try. It wants to try and get up and out of here. 45 to 55, that's that area for Hype where accumulation or positioning could make sense. 45 to 55 on Hype. Let's see here. Let's see here. Cool. All right. Any questions, guys, so far? I mean, are we tracking? Are we all speaking the same language here so far? We speaking the same language? Let's look at Bitcoin on the daily just to make sure that nothing has changed here. No, that still looks pretty good to me. Still looks pretty good. Volume is still on a decline here on the daily for BTC. 4 hour. Yeah, even 4 hours still relatively weak or soft volume. Still pretty soft volume. So we haven't seen really that impulsive move out. When we do, I want to see a nice big green volume spike come in here. We could still be building up to it, though. So daily looks good. Let's look at a 3-day. I would only be worried put it this way. I would only be worried that this move is a fake out if we had a sweep of this prior 3-day high here and then closed below it. So if we see a move above this PD3, what is it? P3DH, previous 3-day high. If we see a move above that doesn't close above that, then we maybe have to be a little bit cautious. Week. Yeah, week looks all right still. I mean, it's a weird looking week, but and then that month is looking good. If we can close this month above 67, this chart gets interesting if we can close that month above 67. 67, 68, that's a very, very, very interesting level. Yeah. Let's see what kind of, let's see here. What is this low here? 66.8. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it right there. We can close above that level. I'm going to put a horizontal ray right there. Bam. We can get above that because this is what here? 66.9. Yeah, anywhere above there is pretty interesting looking. On the 3-month, 68.3. Above there gets interesting. But this is looking good on the quarterly, man. I mean, 20 days left, 19 days left. We may have to seriously consider some very real upside if we get these good closes on BTC here at the end of the month. We may legit have to consider some very, very real upside targets if that happens. But it's still early. We still have plenty of time. Let's look at this 4-hour again with that 3-day high level that's marked out. Yeah, I mean, essentially that's where we want to see that break above. But if we see a break and a fake out, if we see just a sweep of that level, we'll have to be cautious there. Currently, it's looking pretty good though. Should expect this to continue trying to push up higher. Let's invert it. See if there's anything we're missing on the inversion. Yeah, I don't get worried until we sweep that. If we sweep this level here, but then immediately end up back inside the range on a closing basis or on a new candle close, then we may be needing to do that. Maybe needing to do that at least to here, probably to take out the low, which would be a move back below that low. Remember, this is inverted. So if we saw a sweep of that high, we would need to be careful there. Now, if we don't sweep it, if we get acceptance above, if this thing pushes up, right, and we get closes above and it's hanging out up here above it, like slowly pushing up, then we're looking for the pullback, but the pullback is for continuation. If we get the pullback, it's for continuation. And this pullback price could go all the way up here before it gives the pullback. We don't know, right? And the pullback could be a little deeper. The pullback could be something like this after spending some more time up here. The point is, we need to see some acceptance above that 3-day high, not just a quick flash in the pan, move above, and then melting back. So, does time frame matter for this move? You mean for this closing up? I would say I'd probably want to see a daily. If we got a 4-hour, like I'm paying attention, I'm interested. But ideally, like I really want to see a daily move above that. Even if we just get a daily close above this last daily close here on that swing here, which is what, 66.3? Is that right? 63, sorry, 63.3. Even above that, I'm paying attention. We're like right there. We're like right there. But yeah, ideally, I want to see a nice push and a daily close above that level if we can do it. If we get a 4-hour, so like I'll start paying attention. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'll still be cautiously optimistic. Right? Until we get that nice big daily push. Under a 4 hour, I don't think I'm as optimistic under a 4 hour. Hold on. Looks like my trading view froze. What's happening here? The heck? There we go. All right, got it. Let's go back. There we go. I don't know why it froze. Yeah, for the sweep. Yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense. Hourly's not. I mean, even an hourly. Fuck. I mean, even an hourly close above that is probably signal for us to be watching for a 4 hour at least. But ideally we want that nice. When does that 3-day candle close anyways? 3 hours and 15. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get it today. I mean, this is the risk, right? There's 3 hours left on this 3-day candle. If in the next 3 hours it goes above but closes below, that 3-day close is not going to look good. Right away, that'll be like be cautious, right? If it doesn't, if it doesn't take that level out in the next 3 hours, it doesn't mean it has to head all the way back down again. It just means the next 3-day candle is likely to the one that go above, but then we're going to have 3 whole days to get confirmation on whether it's going to hold above or not on a 3-day move. So then we'd be looking for like a daily close above to kind of give us a heads up before the fact. Otherwise, we're just not going to know. 1 second. What is this? A text message? What came in here? No. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we're still looking all right. Okay, ETH flat XRP. Let's go look at. I am watching Ondo again. I'm watching Ondo. Ondo swept these lows. That looks good. Reclaimed. That's actually pretty good right there. Reclaimed that low. Pushing up. I mean, at this point, Ondo breaks above here. And I think the trade is probably something like that. It's about a 2R. Maybe you can even get away with that. Put it under this last sweep here. You're looking at something like that maybe for Ondo. Could Ondo go higher than that? Yes. Right? If you're not just doing like a quick scalp, I think you're possibly looking for this on Ondo. But if that's the case, I would just leave it underneath that low that it put in, under the lowest low. And you're still going to TP around here, around last month high. You're still going to want to TP. You're probably going to want to TP up here as well, around 70, where you've got some chop here. And then you'll see if you can't get a move all the way up to candle high up here on Ondo. But this isn't looking bad. I think this is worth paying attention to. I might need to go and see if can't remember if I opened that position already or not, but I might get a foot soldier in on that one. I realistically, I should have taken one on the pullback, but I did not. Because that entry right here, that sweep of this low on the move up, I should have been paying attention to that. I can't remember if I did or not. Just purely off of this, right? That right there. Boom, boom. So we'll see. Let's go look at Ondo on a daily real quick. Yeah, that's looking good. It's looking real good on a daily. 3-day. Ooh, and notice this as well on Ondo. This is worth calling out here. Okay. What did Ondo just do? Just gave you the sweep of this 3-day range that was set back here at the beginning of the month. So, I mean, this to me, it looks like it needs to do that. Like it's cooking that up right now. You took out the low below the range. Ondo looks good, guys. Ondo looks good. I'll probably do the full setup on Slice for you guys, but we'll do that over there. But this is looking pretty clean. This is looking pretty clean for Ondo. I like it. I like Ondo. I think you're at least going to see a move up here to these weekly and monthly highs, and if it gets going, I think that bigger move is there for sure. Bam. That looks good to me. And actually, your entry's right here right now. So this is actually, I mean, for now, you'd probably need to structure it like this since it hasn't really taken off. If you want to be extremely safe, you put it here. It's behind the low volume area, all of that. But it's not looking bad. Let's clean up this Ondo chart really quick. Hold on. Let's get rid of this. Let's hide that. Let's get rid of this arrow. Let's get rid of this little circle here. Let's see here. We're on the monthly time frame. So last month low, last month high. Yeah, that's still accurate. Weekly levels are still accurate. Yeah, this looks good, man. Ondo looks really good. I like Ondo. I like Ondo for this setup. I really do. Let's see here. Got a few minutes left, guys. We've got about 10 minutes left before I do have to jump. I know we started a little bit late, so it's a little bit of a shorter show today. But I should be able to jump back on tonight, probably like 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern. Should be able to jump back on with you guys. We'll look more at some of these altcoin setups and stuff and a little more granular. I'm also I'm going to be spending a little bit of time working with you guys in the chat group and on Slice for some of these setups. I got some videos I got to record and some other stuff. So we'll be doing some of that today. But yeah, we'll be back tonight. We'll look at some more stuff tonight for sure. Let's see here. What else did we have? Let's quickly look at, man, Aster to me is just screaming that it's at some point Aster's going to give us a pop. Aster's going to give us that big move. This one. This one. No, hold on. What am I looking for? The bars pattern. Bam, that. At some point, Aster's going to give us that. At some point, Aster's going to give us this. It's just a matter of we're waiting on it right now. We're waiting on it. But it's coming. At some point, this thing is coming. In my opinion. We'll see. Of course, there's no guarantees. It's impossible to guarantee this stuff. But I mean, this looks pretty good to me. And again, maybe it takes a little bit longer for Aster to put that low in. Maybe that low comes in July. I don't know, but this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good to me as just a general fractal of what could possibly happen here for Aster based on how we've seen some of these other charts behave. There you go. Maybe that's a little bit of a better representation. Yeah, I like that. So maybe something like that. Let's go through this. Let's go through this list really quickly, all the way to the top. Biggest gainer right now is Stargate. Man, I think we had looked at this one on a stream not that long ago too. Let's see here. See if any of these like stand out. Pith is making a move, huh? This one's kind of like curling up here a little bit. I'm telling you, some of these are gonna run, guys. Some of these are gonna absolutely run. I don't know why, but this others chart is telling me that it's wanting to. This is how we'll know. If you see others, look, others is doing the same thing. Others is doing a nice little W here. So if we see others, look, let's just break this down. Let's break this down because this is what's going to be the signal here, the trigger. If we see others do a similar thing to BTC here, boom, boom, this breaks out, probably needs to come about up here, then gives the pullback. Others is going to do a move like that. If others does something like this here, breaks out, if it gives a pullback, it's likely going to do a move like this. And if this happens in others, we are going to see some big movers. This right here is almost a 20% move from 175 bill up to about 210, 215 bill. And not only that, if you get this going and it picks up some speed, a move up to here is not out of question. A move up to there is not out of question here. And that, my friends, that's a 90-something% move for others. These coins are going to fly if something like that happens. Maybe not all of them, but there will be some massive gainers. You'll see those 100, 150, 200% gainers again. The whole rotation thing will happen. The key there will be figuring out which ones are going to make those moves. Which ones are the ones that are going to put in those massive, massive gains. And again, these moves can be massive and still look terrible on these charts. CRV can pump. Check this out. The CRV can pump 80 to 90% and still just look terrible. Nothing would be happening of substance there. Dimensions. This can pump, 100%, guys, 100%, and just roll over here again at that last high. Atom. Man, that wick is gnarly on Atom. But same thing. These things can pump back to resistance. These things can pump right back into resistance for 100% moves, 150% moves, and still look absolutely terrible. But there will be some pumps, man. There will be some pumps. Those things are looking juicy right now. But it's going to depend. We need to see three things at least move, in my opinion. We want to see that others chart confirm what Bitcoin is potentially setting up. So we want to see Bitcoin put in this move. If Bitcoin puts in that move, pulls back, does that whole song and dance we're looking for, we see others mirror that. And we start to see some of the majors start to move as well. I think it'll get going. And then others dominance should ideally follow that as well. We should see others dominance continue to push up. Right now, others dominance has been on a little bit of a pullback. And we talked about this. You guys remember, we talked about others dominance taking out the last 6-month high. We talked about it pulling back. I think we drew a ton of squiggles. I don't know where it's at, but I'll go back on a prior stream and I'll pull the screenshot of it. We basically said, look, this thing was going to go up. It was going to come back down, and then it could potentially go back up as long as it kept kind of this like higher low structure. I think that's what's happening here. I think if others makes that move, this thing gets ready to go like that. And then we'll see others dominance move. We'll see others against BTC move. That's the other one that we talked about, right? Others BTC. We see this thing start to fly. I don't know if we have all the drawings on this one. No. Same thing. Others BTC pulling back. It starts flying. That's our signal. And then I think Bitcoin dominance would probably be rolling over maybe at that point. So if we see Bitcoin dominance, here, Bitcoin dominance is breaking out right now. But if at some point it starts to cool off and pull back, this is when we'll see some of those altcoins start to run a little bit. And then if this thing breaks back up again, as this is like pulling back and cooling off above that quarterly high, those alts are going to put in another leg. And it'll repeat that until this thing tops. And if it tops somewhere over there and then heads lower, oh man, then they will be on absolute fire. But we've got some time. Still early. you just got to have a little bit of vision of what it might look like if it played out. We don't know if it's going to play out, right? I don't have certainty about that. I have the ability to see what it might look like, and then we have to form, probabilities based on that. When you're giving these price predictions, are you just talking about these current momentary moves? Like you said, Solana can go to 100, but you also said eventually. Yes, momentary moves. Correct. Now, if we start seeing some real strength from Bitcoin, like it starts going up into upper 80s, 90s, then I think we have to rethink the possibility that it may not need to go significantly lower. And if that's the case, some of the alts may not need to go significantly lower. It's all if then, right, Williams? So it's like everything is an if then statement, right? Everything is an if then statement. If my employer respects my time, my contribution, my work ethic, my effort, my all of that, then I am willing to continue putting my best foot forward, giving my all, et cetera, et cetera. If my place of employment does not value me, does not, take me into consideration, does not give me opportunity, then I am not. And I'm not going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to do something else, right? Everything's an if-then statement in life. And in trading, it's no different. If we see strength, if structure flips bullish, if buyers step in, if XYZ, whatever you want, then we do these things. If they don't happen, then we do these other things. Everything's an if-then in trading. Trading doesn't show you the future. It lets you read what has happened so you can try and create probabilities for what might happen. And more importantly than that, it's so you can prepare for what might happen. I need to be prepared in case prices go lower. What am I going to do if they go lower? I need to be prepared in case prices go higher. What am I going to do if they go higher? That's all TA really does for you and the analysis of this stuff. It's not meant to predict. It's not meant to figure out exactly what price is going to do, the exact number that it's going to go to. It's more of a preparation thing, right? I need to be prepared in case these things happen. All right, fellas, but I am going to call it here. I've got some stuff I got to take care of today, so I can't really extend the show right now, but I'll be back tonight. We'll run another stream tonight from my personal page. And if there's a chance to run another one here tomorrow or Saturday, I may be able to put another one in for you guys here from the Wolf Bitcoin account, either tomorrow or Saturday. I just don't know yet, and I don't want to commit to that yet. But if we can, I'll let you guys know. We'll line it up and we'll cover something over the weekend. Otherwise, guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all of you that log on and watch this show here on Wolf Bitcoin. Appreciate you guys hanging with us, supporting what we're doing, supporting these shows as we're trying to build them up and grow. And appreciate you guys, liking, reposting, engaging. All the comments is incredible. Thank you guys for that. Also, don't forget to check out the show sponsor, Public. You can go to public.com/wolf, take a look at what they're doing, go create a free account, poke around, see all the different things that they have to offer. You may decide that you want to transfer or open an account there if you want to keep your old account, but you may decide that you like what you see and you want to have an account with Public. So go check them out. Check out what they're doing with AI. Some really cool stuff. But with that, guys, appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys either one more time, sometime this weekend. But if not, we'll see you guys next week back here on Wolf Bitcoin. Peace.